Most people think saving money is just about numbers, that crossing a financial milestone is purely a mathematical event, but that is not what actually happens. Every time your savings crosses a significant threshold, something changes in your brain. Your psychology shifts. The way you experience stress, make decisions, and think about the future all change, sometimes dramatically. Here is exactly what happens at each level. At $0 saved, you are in survival mode. This is not a metaphor. Research from Princeton University found that financial scarcity consumes cognitive bandwidth, the mental resources your brain uses for thinking, planning, and self-control. When you have nothing saved, your brain allocates enormous processing power to financial anxiety. Every unexpected expense becomes a crisis. A car repair, a medical bill, a broken phone. Any one of them can derail your entire month. And this constant low-grade panic is exhausting. People with zero savings do not make bad decisions because they are bad at money. They make bad decisions because their brain is overwhelmed with stress and has fewer mental resources available for good judgment. At $10,000 saved, something real begins to shift. For the first time in many people's financial lives, small emergencies stop being emergencies. The car breaks down and you can fix it. You do not need to panic. You do not need to borrow. The psychological relief of this is difficult to overstate. Studies show that once people reach a basic financial cushion, their stress hormones decrease, their decision-making improves, and they begin to think slightly longer term. But $10,000 also comes with its first psychological trap: lifestyle inflation. Your brain interprets the cushion as safety, and safety as permission to spend more. Many people hover at $10,000 for years, occasionally rising, frequently falling back, never managing to push forward. At $100,000 saved, the transformation is unmistakable. Most people who reach this milestone describe a profound shift in how they experience money, not just financially, but psychologically. The daily mental noise about money quiets significantly. You stop checking your account out of anxiety and start checking it out of curiosity. Your relationship with risk changes. You are more willing to negotiate your salary, consider new opportunities, and make bold career decisions because for the first time, you have a meaningful buffer between you and financial catastrophe. Your time horizon extends dramatically. At 0 and 10,000, most people think in weeks. At 100,000, they begin thinking in years. Compound interest stops being an abstract concept and starts being a visible, tangible force. And perhaps most importantly, your identity shifts. $100,000 is the threshold at which most people stop seeing themselves as someone who struggles with money and begin seeing themselves as someone who builds wealth. At $1 million saved, the psychology is almost unrecognizable from where you started. Money stops being a source of anxiety and becomes a source of options, not just financial options, but life options. The ability to leave a job you hate, to move somewhere that fits you better, to spend more time with people you love. Research on the psychology of wealth shows that $1 million is approximately the point at which financial stress largely disappears for most people, not because a million is limitless, but because it generates enough return to cover basic needs without drawing down the principal. Your money is making money. Compound interest is working with real force. And the mental space that used to be occupied by financial anxiety is now available for everything else. Here's the key insight from all four levels. The psychological transformation that happens as your savings grows is not just a side effect of having more money, it is the mechanism through which financial success compounds. Because better psychology leads to better decisions lead to better outcomes, and better outcomes lead to more wealth, which improves your psychology further. The wealthy get wealthier not just because of compound interest on their money, but because of compound interest on their mindset. You do not need $1 million to start this cycle. You need $10, then $100, then $1,000. Each step changes your psychology slightly. Each shift makes the next step easier. Start saving, not because of the math, because of who you become along the way.